Hey, comic book friends! I'm Travis.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're back with the second half of whatever random week this is.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, first off, we have Nightwing, issue 9. More Night of the Owls.
More Night of the Owls.
Shocker.
What?
Shocker.
Shocking. This wasn't bad. We get more history of the Grayson family. We get to find out
why they're the
Graysons.
Because they're the Graysons.
Because he isn't black and he isn't white, and so...
Because he isn't scum and he isn't higher up powerhouse.
Right, he's not the elite
because he's the kid of the scum and the powerhouse.
Yeah, he's not the elite. He's not the elite, so his his grandfather ends up being the first, technically the first Grayson.
Grayson.
Gray son. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be funny, but yeah, I don't know what I
know,
think
but
of that,
just the way it was delivered was just kind of like,
yeah,
it's just kind of stupid, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the Gray son of Gotham. It was just like,
and of course, the Talon beats the living crap out of him, sticks him full of knives, knocks him all over the place. They get down into the sewers, and after he's beat him up and monologue for a whole bunch, then all of a sudden Nightwing seems relatively okay and goes, "Ha! I meant to bring you down here," and he hits the liquid nitrogen that keeps all the wiring that's going through the tunnels cold and freezes the guy up.
Yeah, Nightwing pulled a Batman.
Picks him up and walks off with him. Yeah, but it wasn't a very good Batman.
No, it wasn't.
The art was cool.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Eddie Burroughs continues to be awesome on art in this, but
so far I'm liking this book a lot more than when it started out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first series that helped lead up to the whole owl thing.
Yeah.
But
the first circus story thing wasn't that great.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
I guess for this book, for me, I'm really wanting to know where this goes after this.
Yeah.
But this issue in particular, there were some okay parts. Some of the story was interesting and whatnot. But it was also predictable in places, and the whole how his last name is Grayson because of him. Whatever.
It was just kind of lame.
Yeah. So, you got anything to say about it?
Not really.
Okay. What would you think you read it?
Week 3.
Week 3. Yep. Sure enough. Okay, next we're going to talk about Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 9. Yet another Night of the Owls.
Whoa.
What you think?
Okay, well, I know you aren't such a big fan of this issue, but I liked it.
That's fine. You talk and then I'll talk.
I liked this Talon. He looked really unique compared to the rest of the Talons. I mean, he seriously didn't look...
Chicken butt!
Yeah, except for... My only problem was that his little talon...
Yeah, he actually carries what looks like a claw, a weapon that looks like a claw.
Three-pronged weapons, you know, kind of like a grappling hook, except for the fact that he uses it to fight, too. But it looks like a chicken foot. It does. It does not look like a owl claw. Exactly. It does not look like an owl claw. It looks like a chicken foot.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Anyway, beyond that,
that's pretty menacing, being attacked by a chicken foot. A giant chicken foot.
So scared. So they're saving Mr. Freeze in this. So,
and it's the first showing of Mr. Freeze.
Yep.
I mean, later on we'll read a Mr. Freeze annual, but this is technically the first Mr. Freeze back in the DC universe.
Yep. He's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
His little white mohawk thingy and his ice arms. I don't have much to say about this book. It was cool watching.
Well, what did you like about this Talon other than the way he looks, or is that what you liked about it?
I liked that he was unique.
What was unique about it? Because they're all unique to some degree.
The way he looked.
Okay, I'm just asking.
But he didn't look. It's just that he looked so different compared to the other Talons that we've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, because he still has the black and gold, but he doesn't have like the same beak kind of goggly thingies. He has definitely a different style of armor and shoes and stuff. And yeah, I'll let you go now.
I like the premise of it. Okay, here we are. I'm helping out because I like, you know, Red Hood.
He likes Gotham.
He likes Gotham. He likes the city of Gotham. He really doesn't want to be helping Batman out, per se. But I have liked Red Hood and the Outlaw pretty much. Other than issue 1, there were things about issue 1 I didn't like. But other than that, I really liked it. Liked the book. But not this issue. I didn't like this issue at all. I thought this issue was weak. I thought it was lame. I thought it was... What?
It did feel a little weak.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even, for me, it wasn't even good filler. I didn't like this Talon. He looked okay, but he was kind of stupid as a Talon, I thought. I mean, the whole, oh, we're a lot alike, ridiculousness just didn't jive for me at all.
Yeah, I was kind of forced to wonder how this guy ended up as a Talon. Because even all the even like Batgirl's Talon, who has a chance to kick Batgirl off a building and kill her, and she doesn't.
Right.
Even she still tries to do her job.
Right, and this guy
just kind of.
And this guy didn't. This guy.
He's kind of flops. He's
this
just
guy
like,
folded.
oh, kill me.
This guy folded right away. I didn't mind the interaction between Freeze and Arsenal and Starfire. It was okay.
Okay.
But there was nothing. There was nothing in this book that had the little interesting kind of cool moment that most of the other books have had that have made me go, ooh, wow, you know, the Red Hood and the Bat family moment, and there could have been something like that in this, and there really wasn't, you know, except for at the very end where he's like, oh, here's my Talon, I did my job to Batgirl, and Batgirl's like, well, you know,
that was kind
you're
of
still whatever, but no, I was not happy with this at all. This is my least favorite Night of the Owls book by far. Because the Night of the Owl part was just throwaway stupid because the Talon, in my opinion, was a stupid Talon. Whether you like the way it looked or not.
Lame.
Chicken foot and all.
Yeah. I like the way it looked, don't get me wrong.
What would you rate this book?
A 2.
Yep, I give it a 2. I give it 2. If you're buying them just for the Night of the Owls thing, you haven't gotten this one yet, you can skip it.
You can,
really.
It'll be okay. It's a good comic though, beyond that.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, next we have the secret.
It's not a good book.
Okay, good title, sorry.
Okay.
Next we have the secret history of D.B. Cooper. What'd you think?
Well, I don't know. Book was kind of bland, pretty typical, pretty common.
So boring, so common. I mean, I don't know, I could have just kind of done without this title. I mean...
It's totally nuts is what it is, and it's lots of fun.
I hate to be in Russia.
Yeah, you know, I hate
to not
be
to
a
be
Russian
a Russian
agent.
worker, but like, have to be somebody who's in Russia, who the CIA has working in Russia, because, you know, suddenly you're going for your target to get all this information, and then their head explodes.
Well, I mean, you're sitting around in a meeting. They're sitting around basically at a staff meeting, talking about what they're doing, about the fact
well,
they
that one guy's at an opera, and his head kind of falls off into his partner's
Well, that was last issue. This issue, the guy is, you know, they're at a meeting. They're talking about how they got a mole inside the CIA. They're keeping track of everybody. They're on top of it all. And the guy's going on lecturing, and all of a sudden the side of his head just goes, explodes and comes off.
The interaction between D.B. Cooper and the monster that the guy was in the gut was really funny because he's talking about, you know, like he's finding, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm just not into cycleopen slime monsters.
Right.
And, you know, as they're fighting, like, he picks it up, he's like, I'm not that kind of girl. He stabs in the eye.
Through the eye.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. The time in the gut is pretty crazy and fun. The story that's going on around it is interesting too. The fact that we now find out the guy who's been administering the stuff that supposedly puts him into the trance to make him go into his thing is his dad. So that's really interesting. And
of course,
that's a whole different dynamic there.
And you find out that everybody's faking everybody. That D.B. Cooper and his dad totally know that they're related to each other, and that the CIA obviously took Darla. Yeah, they took his daughter. Right, I mean, now Darla? I think it's her name. Yeah. They pretty much admitted to the fact that this one agent that's gotten fistfights with them and stuff like that has actually the ones that kidnapped the kid. Was the one that staged. So we don't know why. Abduction. So I don't know why. It's collateral. He said that it's collateral for the project, so D.B. Cooper doesn't try and turn on them or something. Yeah, but if he ever finds out, they've got this guy, this ninja psionic guy that can operate anytime he wants to and split your head in two. Yeah, yeah. How do you protect yourself from that? I don't know how you protect yourself. One of the things interesting is this guy that's supposedly kind of the bad guy FBI dude, right? He's talking to his boss. And then these goons, he has these goons show up. I mean, do you think they're getting rid of him? I don't know. Who's the mole? That's the other thing, too. I mean, is it the agent that you got in the fist fight with? Is it their boss? I mean, yeah, there's some cool stuff going in there. I forgot. I haven't listened to the MP3 that's at the end of this issue yet. I forgot to listen to that to see what kind of freaky thing it is. But
Yeah, this book's great. If you like I said, as I keep saying, if you like kind of Philip K. Dick, kind of unhinged, not quite in the grasp of reality sort of thing where you don't know what's real and what's not real, and the character's kind of in that place where he's in this kind of transcendental kind of both places at once. He's in a sonic realm and operates in our realm too at the same time. If you like that sort of a thing, you should be picking this book up.
This is a pretty amazing book. I can't wait to see who the red teddy bear thing, Lee, yeah. I can't wait to see who Lee is in real life.
Do you think we'll find out?
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because he's the only thing. I mean, they even point that out, that he's the only other person they've seen in the gut. The only thing they've seen in the gut that can actually talk or whatever is sentient and,
Isn't trying to kill him.
Of course, he's just a teddy bear, so.
Well, and he's obviously kind of to some degree, he's a simpleton.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's like, no way, he says something like, no way, Charlie, and he's like, oh, my name isn't Charlie, my name's Lee. He doesn't get that kind of, reference and whatnot. So, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's funny that he's suspicious of the bears to some degree, because, of course, he's a bear. He's a red bear. He's fighting against the Russians, the red bear of the Russians, so, but anyway, fun stuff. I love the artwork, too. The style for the book is just right on.
Yeah. This demon
the monsters
turns into
the monsters are totally bonkers and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
they're pretty
twisted and gross.
Cyclopean slime monsters.
Yeah, they might potentially be not work safe too. Yeah, they're gross. Anyway, awesome book, cool stuff. Highly recommend it if you like that type of thing. If you don't like weird stuff, don't get the book though.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Next, we're going to talk about The Shadow, issue number 2.
Wait, we didn't rate D.B. Cooper, did we?
Oh, I'm sorry. 4.
Yeah, 4. Okay, so The Shadow, issue number 2.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. We found out that The Shadow, we already knew that he had high persuasion, but it might be just a little bit more than that, considering the fact that he wills the pilot into living after he's been... he's had the crap shot out of him,
somehow
so
he holds
land.
So he holds the spirit, holds the spirit in,
so he can land. So it's kind of cool seeing what else the Shadow can do, what kind of powers he does, and what else is just urban myth, him being secret-y and ninja-ness or whatever.
Yeah.
So
where he forces that one Nazi into thinking that he's killing his mother. So he freaks out. Yeah. I don't know. His assistant is no joke either. I mean, she's getting beat up and whatnot, but she ends up...
She lights that lady on fire.
They're on a plane over the ocean, and they shoots a lady inside the airplane with a flare. Yeah. Burns her up really bad. Of course,
watching the Shadow snap the end off of that wine glass and stab in the guy's eye.
Right.
All the fact that he's already taken out like half the guys there before they actually start shooting him.
Right. Right. Well, he's trying to explain to them they really shouldn't be shooting inside that airplane because it can bring them down. Of course, it just about does. It shoots up half the engines and stuff. Really fun book.
Yeah.
I like it because it captures the Shadow. If you like the Shadow or like that sort of thing, I think it's doing a great job. It's vicious, but it's not so brutal that it makes you wince too much. Yeah. Artwork is really strong on it still. It'll be interesting now that they're in Japan to see exactly what all happens. And I give this a very strong 3.
Yes, I'd give it a very strong 3 too. Okay, next up we have Supergirl, issue 9.
They fight the Black Banshee.
Yep.
I like this book. I like this book more and more all the time. I'll continue to say the art is absolutely gorgeous on it.
The art is pretty stunning.
Man, it's good stuff.
And the way they draw the Black Banshee, I really like the way he looks. I mean, don't get me wrong, Silver Banshee looks good, cool.
She looks cool too.
I mean, but she looks more like a superhero.
Yeah.
Than he does. And he just becomes this black figure that's following them along.
He's very menacing.
And we find out that, her younger brother tried to sacrifice himself.
To shut him down, yeah.
To shut him down, but obviously it didn't work for a while. I mean, a little while kind of worked, and then nope, not much after that. So that was interesting to see how their whole curse is working out. And of course,
He sucks their souls. He sucks the souls out of normal human beings and whatnot. But of course, it doesn't really work that way with Supergirl.
I know. I'm trying to figure out if Supergirl can use magic or whatever, because she definitely seems different than Clark Kent. And you know, she's exploding all over the place, and that's not something that Superman does.
Yeah. Well, but
she's turning that golden color and blasting through people.
She doesn't have the control over her powers.
And he talks about how he's releasing her full potential. So what does that mean? Does that mean that he's released her full potential genetic-wise, or what?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's kind of interesting to see too.
Yeah, and then she ends up being basically
absorbed.
Yeah. She ends up flying into the guy. So the next couple of issues are going to be really interesting to see exactly how she
gets
deals
out of that.
Sees how she's now someplace else.
Yeah, obviously the title didn't last that long otherwise, so.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. I'm curious. I'm curious if the Silver Banshee ends up being a long-term friend, if after they get out of this.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming she is, because unless Clark Kent shows up again, not Clark Kent, Superman shows up again. Otherwise, because how is she going to learn English when, I mean, she can't really communicate with anybody but her and Superman, because it's not like she's... Yeah.
Yeah.
So, maybe Batman speaks Kryptonian.
Oh, probably. Or at least he has a little gadget that'll translate for him.
Uh-huh. So, yeah.
I don't know.
But, okay. I give it a 3 out of 3. Or 3 out of 5. Ah!
Yeah, you're doing it now. I poisoned you. Ah! Yeah, I'll give it a 3 also. Virgin on Strong Free. I really like the book. I like the art. And it was exciting and fun.
Yep.
Okay. Lastly?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Lastly, we're going to talk about Wonder Woman number 9. So here we are in hell.
This issue was pretty cool. It's not hell, it's the underworld. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Not much. But a difference.
Looks like hell to me. Anyway.
Yeah. Doesn't look like fun at least. Yeah, so this issue is pretty cool. It was definitely, it looked really amazing. Although...
Yeah, even not being Cliff Chang.
Yeah. In some places, some of the people are drawn kind of weird, and they didn't look like they normally do. I mean, I understand it's a different artist, and that's okay, but they still looked weird to me. But as, you know, the whole Colosseum with all the souls that Hercules...
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. That Hades has strapped together to form their wedding Colosseum thingy.
Well, yeah,
as they're going to get married.
Yeah.
And they're, like, Eros, her brother, whose name I'm drawing a blank on, Hermes, and Hephaestus are going to the wedding to...
Vulcan.
Bust her out, yeah.
Well, they got invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
They think they're going to bust her out. They don't know exactly what they're going to do. They're just going to show up and see what goes on. And they're about the only people who show up to the wedding. I mean, everybody gets invited.
Right.
Everybody gets invited, but very few people show up because, of course,
nobody likes Hades.
It's Hades and it's in Hades' house. I mean, so instead he invites all of his souls to show up.
I mean, to see Persephone. Persephone?
Yeah, Persephone.
Persephone, yes, there we go, Persephone.
Greek names.
Who's Hades' wife during the winter.
Yeah. And
we see her that she's slit her wrist completely open.
And gets to bleed forever.
Yeah.
Because he didn't make Hades happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the story in this is pretty awesome. Yes, kick the camera.
Sorry. I don't know. But so, it was pretty cool. At the end, watching, he's talking about, he's trying to figure out if whether or not Wonder Woman has willed her way out of Hades.
Okay.
Trying to will her way out of being in love with him, even though she got shot with arrows pistols, or if she actually is in love with him. So he's going to test her by putting her in a noose formed by the lasso of truth.
All right. So basically, if
she's telling the truth, then she'll be fine. It'll be all dandy. If she is lying, she will be killed.
Strung up by her own lasso of truth. Supposedly. Because no one knows for sure whether or not she's bluffing.
In love, or if she's, yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of politics that are going on there. Strife had showed up and was
talking with War.
Well, no, not the part with war.
Yeah.
She shows up at the wedding.
Oh.
She shows up at the wedding, and she's kind of planted some seeds in Hades' head. And I don't know if it's to Wonder Woman's advantage or disadvantage, because Strife, of course, what does she do? She causes strife. Anyway, the very beginning, as Ethan was talking about, the very beginning of the book, he meets up with War, and we get another clear picture of War, and I think it's pretty funny. The writer's name is Brian Arezzo, and I don't know how many of you have seen pictures of the guy. He
looks like War.
He's got a long white beard and whatnot, and you should like find him on Twitter or something. You can see a picture of him there. And here is here's a picture of War there. Let's see if I can get it with a shine. There's War, and you know what? He looks exactly like Brian. I don't know if that's on purpose or just happened to be how it worked out, but he most definitely looks like the writer. And I think that's pretty funny. And his character's great, and there's just a little bit that he's in it. The fact that he's, he'll go to one wedding, but he's not going to go to a second one, because obviously it doesn't mean a whole lot if you're going to the second wedding and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. Hades, his throne.
Oh, that was awesome.
His throne is Kronos.
Yeah, his dad.
His dad, because, Kronos swallows all the gods as their...
And how about that wine?
Yeah, so... Yeah, his throne is Kronos, and then Strife shows up early because she's Strife, so never on time, never, late or early, but never on time. Yeah, and she's asking for a drink, right? And he's like, well, okay. And Kronos starts crying, and he cries wine.
Well, sure, it's wine, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the throne he sits on, and that's Kronos back there. That is Hades' dad. He's alive, and he kind of talks and moans and is in pain the entire time, and that's perfectly fine with Hades. And, yeah, pretty brutal. Pretty brutal and pretty cool. And there he is. Whoa, camera focus. There he is crying, and there she is getting a wonderful cup of wine.
Yeah.
You certainly have a unique style, sense of style, Uncle, she says.
Cheers.
Yeah, great book. Great book. I know some people aren't happy with the whole way the Amazons have been treated, and some people aren't very excited about this book because Wonder Woman isn't the main character. The story's not told about her so much. She's not in the book enough. I think the book is really, really interesting. Yeah, this may not be my mom and dad's Wonder Woman, but I still think it's a really interesting and really cool story.
Yeah, I give it 4.
Yep, same here. And that's it for this week. Have a good one. We'll see you in another week. Bye.